Why do I feel like a lab rat, pushing the pleasure lever to death and doom scrolling, just zoning in my digital meth. My real life cries, missing everyone that I meet. I trade in thirst trap snaps for real life body heat. So GPT laughs cause the humans are dead, and now I'm only with as much as the prompts in my head. I should feel lucky that I'm walking in the century. I try to smile in denial in my chat GPTSD, cause I'm an absolute pro. I'm an absolute pro now. There's nothing quite like bad news to chase away the blues, to drain my energy and leave me less enthused about life and confused on my moral attitude, sacrificing my emotions at the altar of views. Give me scary headlines to waste away my time, to get me up in arms about the latest hate crime. No longer feeling fine, got a cortisol high. The undo the good work of all my SSRIs. I'm dying, 'cause I'm an absolute pro. I'm an absolute pro now. Yeah, I'm an absolute pro. I'm an absolute pro now. My Riz is dead, feel like a fish out of water. I want my alma mama's binging bottomless enchiladas. My inner Leo is loose, regaling Taylor's with dupes. It's giving core, cottage go with Haley B. Juice. Crusty-eyed dogs trip on fluoride stairs with incognito but Karen getting that boyfriend Aaron. All my squeaky clean girls been scrapping their bill. I'm checking customer service, but they just read me to filth because I'm an absolute pro. I'm an absolute pro now. 'Cause I'm an absolute pro. I'm an absolute pro now. Yeah, I'm an absolute pro. I'm an absolute pro now. And I'm an absolute pro. I'm an absolute pro now. Please forgive my ugly. I should have picked to be born more lovely. I should have picked a face that would have more easily won a place for me. A heart rent free.
Delicious.
What's
What's
up,
up, everybody?
I'm
I'm
streaming
streaming
at
at what is my normal stream time,
and
and there is sunlight on my face. I don't get it. I don't get it.
What's
wrong? Double audio.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is that better? Check, yes. Well, I'm trying this thing for the first time, so we'll see how this goes. Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in to my palatial Portlandian hotel room in the Portland that up until today I had never been to in my life. Let's see, Waddy was the first one here, and then Pudge was here momentarily because I'm at work, but get out of my city, Eric, I live here. So, unfortunately, I was going to stream, but Pudge says I have to leave. So, bye. Now we're gonna, what? There it is. Dang it. You have to find me first. Although I did put on social media where I'm staying, so maybe I shouldn't be so near this giant window. Miss Lacey, so close yet so far. I know. But with everything that transpired in this trip, I didn't even get to Seattle at all. Because I got here, I landed in Portland a half hour after the train I was going to take had already left. Granted, I could have taken one a couple hours later, but at that point, I'd been awake for about 30 hours in travel mode, and I just needed to sleep. So, came back here, and to be completely honest, only got like 2.5 hours of sleep, and I've been up. But, so having to scrape that state off of my list, but it just means that I'm going to have to come back with a more dedicated trip to just do Washington/Seattle/Miss Lacey. And there we go, problem solved. But it took me, then I responded to Pudge, it took me so long to get out here. Too late sending Pudge in with a sniper unit. Oh crap, and I am in front of these windows. Holy crap, that got bright. Oh, I'll live with it until it gets painful. Phoenix is here as well. Phoenix! Lots of greetings, lots of lovely greetings. Wow, that alert is... Oh, it's quiet? I mean, it's normally a little low, but perhaps in this wang-jangled setup I've got here, it's not ideal. Let's see if there's anything I can do. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, but let me know how this guy sounds. I've only used this once, and it was for the Love Letters stream. No longer echoey. HB! Goddess of Lust! Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. This is so weird. I'm not used to streaming with daylight. I can't hear anything, but that's because my sound is off because I'm at work. Okay, Pudge. We won't say anything with the sound off that we wouldn't say with the sound on. Your trip stressed the hell out of me. Yeah, me too. But there was a for those that have followed along with my saga, I'm gonna basically sum the whole thing up again here. I just snoozed ads so you can play one when you're ready. Okay, thank you. Do Washington, Seattle, Miss Lacey in a row? I mean, one leads to the other, so naturally. Portland treating you okay so far, though? Yeah, I just had myself a wander the last couple hours. A very short wander and then a bit of a longer one. The short one being that when I got up after my 2.5 hour nap or so, pretty much most of me hurt. So I found a CVS around the corner and bought myself some Advil and Tylenol. Took those and got some drinks as well, and then had a bit of a longer wander, checked out some of the parks, the little block-sized parks around this area where my hotel is. And then got some West Coast Chinese food, which is the exact same shit I eat on the East Coast, just to see what the differences are. But honestly, it was better here. So, and because it was the sake of Chinese food science, I sent pictures and a thorough diagnosis to Rickshaw Tom so that so he is now aware. Miss Lacey saying she's first in terms of Washington, Seattle, Miss Lacey. So it's Miss Lacey first, and then I can do Seattle and then Washington. But I got to do Miss Lacey first. All right. Only if I can hold the camera and film. I'm a great multitasker. Yeah, no more trips to Shitlanta. Oh, yep. Fates! Welcome in, Fates. Howdy, howdy. Hope Oregon is nice. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling too great, but trying to rest up. How's everyone else doing? Do me first. Wait, no, that's what I just said. But I guess great minds think alike. So, consider it done, Miss Lacey. Consider it done. All right, I don't... one downside to this setup is I'm trying to not do this ideally. I mean, I'd like to do it ideally, but... I normally have like 5 screens around me, each doing different things. So let me see here. Hello? You know, with how aggressive they are about being like, you need to play ads. Outside of... Outside of the regular in-browser stream monitor, there's not really a way to do it that I can find. All right, love, got a lurk on you for the time being. Have a great rest of your stream and stay safe there. I will, Miss Lacey. Thank you for popping in. And I hope the rest of this trip goes as well as it could without it involving... without it involving seeing you. Let's do that again. There you go, Miss Lacey. That's for you. All right, I guess we'll let me know when this ad plays, and then I'll wait a few seconds, unless it already played. Do you need food recommendations, or like, wait, why are you here? Are you here to unalive me? Shh. Let's just say you're not the only one who's a trained sniper on the roof. All right, ad currently rolling. We're not going to say anything important. All right, ad break is over. So, welcome back, everyone who got subjected to that ad. My apologies. So, well, I'm gonna open my drink first. I haven't had a chance to wander around and look at too much, so I've had this once before, but I didn't know they made these in tall boys. So we're gonna have ourselves a little strawberry lemon poppy here, and we'll see how well this lav does a crisp. Oh God, it splashed on me. Wait, Waddy, is Eric here to steal Pudge? Not so far, Pudge. Well, we'll find out. Cheers, Sláinte, everybody. But the long and the short of it is there's not much of a rhyme or reason as to why I'm actually here. Back in March, when I went on my first little excursion that took me through North Carolina and everything to see Sting's last wrestling match, and then I had my first encounter with what is the shit show known as the Shatlanta Airport. All the fuel fell out of my plane. My flight got canceled, and I had to scramble at literally the last minute with like 21 minutes to spare to get myself on another plane to Puerto Rico so I could get home. And because of that fiasco, Frontier gave me a $75 flight coupon. Like, in the next 3 months, here you go, to make up for that. And I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then I realized I basically had less than a day before it expired. And far be it from me to want to waste $75. So to not waste $75, I put this huge cross-country adventure together consisting of planes, trains, and automobiles. That is not Ric Flair. Woo! 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 Lamp! Welcome in, Lamp. Also, what you'd think of my airport. Since I can't hear you, I'd assume you loved it. I was so tired coming through the airport, I don't remember much of it, to be completely honest. But it seemed nicer than Atlanta, of course. It reminded me a lot of the airport in Raleigh in North Carolina, just the layout and everything. Let's say Pudge's Airport, 8 out of 10. Whoops. I forgot I have those mapped to scene switching when I do the lives at the Art Center. Pudge's Airport, 8 out of 10. Pretty nice airport. And it's certainly better than Atlanta. But welcome in, Lamp. How's your Friday going on, all that stuff? It's under construction, so I'll allow that rating, but just you wait till it's done. Okay. Okay, Pudge. I will come back when it's done to revise the score. So, where was I? Oh yeah, doing this stupid cross-country thing to not waste that $75 coupon. So my first flight, well, and everything started yesterday. God, was it? Yeah, it was yesterday. So going on maybe 4 hours of sleep. I got up. It was around 4 a.m., I think. Showered, grabbed my bag, hit the road. Well, got out the door at like 4:30, but then because of construction they're doing on my on-ramp, I was literally sitting there parked on Route 7 for half an hour. No joke. They let the other lane of traffic go, but they did not let the lane I was in go for half an hour. So I didn't even get on the interstate till 5 a.m. So I'm like, great, that already puts me behind. But it was fine. I just I parked my cruise control at 75 and just let her rip. And I got to Bradley around 8:25, I want to say, which was a little later than I wanted to. Only because I've never been there before. I've never flown out of there, so I didn't know like the distance I had to cover, how the shuttles worked, all that other stuff. So I had to figure that out as I went. But like, parked in one of the super cheap lots. The shuttle was already there. It took 45 seconds to shuttle over there, it seems. And then I also didn't realize that Bradley has clear before TSA, which I have. I have clear. It didn't matter anyway. There was one person ahead of me, so I got right through TSA without issue. But I'm kind of after that trip I did before. I have my same bag, everything packed the exact same way. I knew I wasn't gonna have issues, and I didn't. So got through, got on my plane, and my first flight down was perfectly fine. It was perfectly fine, no problems. Got into Atlanta, and then had to make that post saying, I hope it's not like it was last time. Yeah, it was worse. Was it? I don't know. Was this worse, or was it just a different kind of bad? That's what I haven't quite figured out. Because before, the flight ended up being canceled. But this time, they never technically canceled the flight. They just kept delaying it and delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. To the point where I absolutely missed my connection, which was separate from my ticket. I had booked a separate connection to get me from Denver to Portland, and that would have brought me in to Portland around midnight, which is still kind of late, but still not that bad. So, but we get on the plane. We're sitting there for the better part of an hour, I think about an hour, before they finally tell us we need to get off the plane because the engine is broken. Or something related to the engine is broken. And the plane is now in maintenance mode, so we are not allowed to be on it. So we had to deboard, and then they told us, like, do not leave this area. Do not leave this area, and we will update you. Well, they never really updated us, and it was several hours. And then finally, it got so late, like all the convenience stores and restaurants, they all closed. So there was no place to get a drink, no place to eat anything. And we're still just not giving it any information. When we were getting off, they're like, if you have connections, talk to the gate agent to see what they can do for you. So I'm like, okay, I guess I got to stand in line for that. And I stood in line for like 90 minutes for my chance to talk to the gate agent. And then when I finally got up there, I think I said 4 or 5 words. I'm trying to remember exactly what I said, but again, like I'm not one of those people that gets mad at people in customer service positions. I've been in those. Like, it's the last thing I would do, and at least I didn't think I was. I was very, at least as much as I think I could be pleasant. I think I said something along the lines of, I'm one of those people that has a connecting flight in Denver, and I just have a couple questions. I didn't even get all those words out. I got a couple of those words out, and the guy steps to the side and was like, "Everyone out there needs to understand that when you're rude to agents, it's not doing anyone any good because we're stuck here just as you are." And then he started talking to everyone that was around me, including people stood directly behind me. So he's talking over my shoulder to them and then refuses to talk to me. So I don't know what I did wrong to piss this guy off. So I just kind of walked away at that point, like, dude, won't even talk to me. And I literally just wanted to ask him a question about if we don't get out of here and I book another flight, would I be able to get it refunded because it was out of my control? That's all I wanted to ask. So I ducked away, pulled my laptop out, found myself a 5 a.m. flight out of Denver, and then booked that just kind of in hopes that they get the plane fixed and we're able to get out of there. There was one other flight from Atlanta to Denver leaving that night, but the people that were ahead of me for those 90 minutes, some of them got booked onto that flight, and then by the time I got up there, it was too late anyway. So I did that, and then there must have been a shift change or something, because then there was a different guy at the counter. So I got back into line, and then I talked to this other guy, and I was just like, I just need to ask you a quick question. And then so I asked that question, and at first he was flabbergasted. He's like, "You booked another flight? Like, with money?" I'm like, "Yeah, I need to get there." So he pulled it up. He's like, yeah, I mean, you're there. What do you want? And I'm like, I just want to know if the one that I'm missing could maybe be refunded.
Wow, incredible what he just shared 200 bits for playing the Josh Johnson joke video whenever you're ready.
Okay, yeah. When I think we'll get to a part of this where it'll. Well, no, I'm mostly through this dramatic retelling anyway. So yeah, we'll check that out in a bit. And thank you for the 200 bits, greatly appreciated. So, and then turns out the gate agents have, like, on their lanyard, they have a QR code, and they just hold it up, and then you scan it with your phone, and it takes you right to the website where you can request a refund. But another thing that they were saying is when they deboarded us, they're like, if you want a refund, we will give you one. But if we do, you cannot get back on this plane and you will not be on this flight in the event they get this fixed and we're able to fly. So he's like, do this to refund that. I'm like, okay. Should I wait and do that when I get to my destination because of what you said earlier? So I was like, probably a good idea to wait. So I haven't done it yet because you got to you put in a lot of other information. I'm not all that concerned about it. It's just, I think the taxes and fees and everything of that, it was like $15 for that flight. So it's because I spent $15 rebooking it for 5 a.m. So we'll see. If I get that back, great. If not, whatever. And then I just had to laugh because I go and sit down and I just start waiting at that point. And then we get more emails and more texts about delays. And then, because of course, I get pretty much the same email I got last March, complete with another $75 flight voucher in it. So the whole reason I put this trip together was to not waste my $75 flight voucher, and now I have another one. So far I've gotten $150 for being dicked around in Shatlanta. But they were also, according to the gate agent, they were supposed to credit us meal vouchers and everything as well, but they didn't. So we kind of got the short end of the stick there. But I digress. Around 11 p.m., they finally said repairs were done. They said it was related to one of the computers of the 120 computers they have on board. And it was one of the redundant computers as well. So, but they were required by law to do maintenance on it and all this other stuff. So finally, they let us get back on the plane. And then midnight, we're finally pushing off. And we finally get out of there. So it was just about a 3-hour flight from Atlanta to Denver. I tried my best to get some sleep on the plane, but I just couldn't at that point. From all the standing around and sitting on the floor in the terminal and everything, I was just sore and I just couldn't sleep. So I get to Denver and have a couple of hours to wait, counting the time change. I think I had to wait we got there. Whatever. Boarding for my flight was like 4 a.m. Mountain Time. But and around that time, I had crossed the 24-hour mark to how long I had been awake. And I was just like, when I was sitting there, like, especially that last 15, 20 minutes before boarding started, just so damn tired. Like flipping through TikTok and trying to just do anything I could to stay awake. And then finally, they start boarding, and I'm like, please don't let anything go wrong. Well, not only did nothing go wrong, everything went so efficiently and so correctly on this flight that we left 25 minutes early and got here to Portland 15 minutes early. And it was just as nice of a flight as the one from Hartford to Atlanta. So all the shitty Frontier flights I've had have to do with getting out of Atlanta. So I think that's kind of my lesson here when I do my next trip and when I do these in general, is only in an absolute, unless I absolutely have to, will I book a flight that goes to Atlanta. That's where all the trouble came from. Every other place that I've flown into or out of on a Frontier plane has been absolutely fine. It's been smooth sailing. It's been great. Atlanta's just been a shit show. Thus the name Shatlanta that I dubbed it. So, But that flight, though, I think I was able to snooze for about an hour. But again, like it's hard to, especially on a Frontier flight, because because like the seats aren't that comfortable. They don't adjust, and like I have a preference set to always get a window seat, which is nice, so I can like lean my head on the wall. But when I'm flying, I'm wearing these, which are noise canceling, and which is good, except when you try to lean your head on something, because then like if you lean against the wall, then you suddenly just touching the wall, they absorb and radiate all of the engine noise, so thus negates the point of the noise canceling. But it was just about sunrise when we lifted off out of Denver, and I didn't get to see it. It was still night when we flew into Denver, so I didn't get to see anything from the air. But pretty much everyone else in the flight just closed their windows and went to take naps. So I'm like, I'm just going to try to nap too. But I got like an hour, and then I couldn't keep doing it anymore. So listened to some music for a bit. A couple of the people had opened up their windows, so I cracked mine. And I think we were flying over like that corner of Oregon and Idaho and like that whole thing, and just like looking down on the geology and everything. I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. So I spent the rest of the flight just looking out the window, looking at the geology on the ground, and just how different it was from anything I had seen from a plane. And then as we get closer and closer to Portland, like the last 45 minutes of the flight, we got the mountains and everything else. And I'm like, this is so cool. And it was, and it was the golden hour too. We had sunrise lighting, and I took a whole bunch of pictures out the window best I could. And some of them turned out pretty good. So like this one right here, I took this morning. This is from out the plane window. So I'm pretty impressed. It was a very nice cap off the gauntlet of travel that I did in basically the same 30-hour period. So got to the airport, deplaned. At that point, like my whole body just hurts, and then I have to trudge through the terminal and everything. It was like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so sore. But got myself an Uber, because I figured that would be the fastest way to get to my hotel, because there's a public transit system as well, like a light rail train, or I don't know if they call it a train or what the heck are they called? Trolley. I'm not sure what terminology they use. It'd be cool to figure out that system, but I was like, I just need to get there. So grabbed an Uber. It was like $40 from the airport to my hotel, but whatever. Worth it to get here. And it's really kind of weird getting checked in here and everything, only like in the sense of the people that work here. Because like, and it's continued throughout the whole day, every single employee is like, are you even 18 years old? Like, you look like you're still in high school. But they're all like, they're all professionally dressed. They're all very customer service oriented. They're very good. It's very weird. And they're all they're very pretty. All of them. They're all very pretty. And it's just, I don't know, it just seems weird. And in some sense, it kind of felt like that episode of Rugrats, for those that might remember this, where like they were grown-ups, Chucky and Tommy, and there was like their little baby heads on these big bodies wearing suits, and they're just like going around, this is how we adult. And it just, I don't know, it kind of felt like that to me. But no, they were all really nice, and I got booked in here. And I picked this hotel purely because in the couple of days of, pricing research I did, this one at the time I was ready to actually do the booking ended up being the cheapest one I could find. So, like $100 a night as compared to like $150 to $200 for almost everything else. And this one's kind of neat. It's not your typical chain hotel. This one it's called Dossier, among Portland's best kept secrets. And your key card is confidential. My room number's on that, so I didn't want to give that away. I don't need the snipers knowing where I am. It says, not everything at Dossier is a secret. In fact, here are some things you should know. Ha 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 ha, I know where you are. But you don't know what room I'm in, Pudge. What's that laser pointer on my forehead? When I go to Portland, Maine, I stay at Inn at St. John, and it's very weird and fun. Light rail. We also have buses and a city trolley. Okay, good to know. Yeah, again, terminology. I know they're called different things in different places. But yeah, like, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me getting old being like, they're all kids. There's all kids running this place, Marty. There's all kids. But no, they're all very nice. They're all like weirdly pretty. And like anytime you walk past any of them, you get a very nice greeting and you're asked about how you're enjoying your stay and everything. And it's like, or maybe I'm just not used to polite people. Maybe that's my East Coast showing, because apparently, like, you can tell someone's from the East Coast because people on the East Coast they don't really talk to people. They kind of just keep to themselves and, go about their business. But yeah, this is a neat place. There's it's furnished really, like a lot of the colors and everything. I mentioned it sort of has the feeling of, and probably goes along with the whole Dossier thing, it sort of has like this, like the old 50s spy movie sort of feel to it. But we can, because of this magic, we can do a little room tour here. We can do a little room tour here. So that's y'all. So that's my view. We're on the 8th floor, so not too bad. We can see a nice roof there, but it is what it is. So got a like super like 60s 70s style chair there. Got that where the magic happens, and you even get a nice body pillow to cuddle with. And you got this funky looking clock radio thing, which was, when I walked in, was playing music, and I felt that, and that was kind of unnerving to me. Yeah, and it still is. So, but that was playing music, and then they have all the art here. Like, it's not just like from a catalog corporate art. They're all like commissioned and like local artwork. So that's kind of neat. They hide a lot of the practical stuff. Like, I've got one of those little refrigerators you have to open with a key. Except, it's all my stuff that's in it. So I found myself a Pops Cockle flavored C4, so I'm going to drink that in the morning. Oh, and then also they give you a welcome beverage when you check in, and there's like a whole list of things you can pick. And it's like, I'm just ready for bed at that point. But so they gave me a free 20-ounce Diet Coke just for checking in. So thanks. And then over here we've got a Got a little secret coffee making spot. What? Yeah, I don't know. I've never used one of these things. I'm not a big coffee person. Maybe I'll have one just for the lulls. We'll see. And then and then something that's really kind of like I talk about like how kind of strange and maybe no, not quite uncanny valley, but there's like some term that I just can't think of, but like with the staff and everything, everyone being so like we're young and nice to look at. How's everything going? I don't know. But one of the things they have to sort of go along with that is what they call they have their 24/7 virtual concierge named Paige. So basically on top of like the young, attractive humans they have working here, they also have their own AI concierge that you can talk to about anything. So, okay, weird. And then I guess, you can book multiple rooms and do that thing. But now we have the bathroom, which is pretty neat. I know it's a weird thing to say that a bathroom is neat, but it's big, the acoustics are nice, and you've got a separate bathtub and shower. One of those rain head showers. So like, in terms of the square footage and everything, like this dang near half your square footage is here in the bathroom. And we got a nice fresh squeezed mountain goat, in case you needed such a thing. Oh yeah, that's the old room. It's a shame half of the time I paid for got wasted, sitting around a terminal in Atlanta, but it's fine. It's fine. And I was supposed to, of course, my original plan was to be in Portland right now. Not Portland, in Seattle right now. But we landed at 7 a.m. Pacific time. But the Amtrak I was going to take to Seattle left at 6:30. I could have taken a later one, but at that point I was like, I'm going to be no good if I do that. I was just... But I'm glad, like, that's one of the things there's some stuff that I pre-purchased for this trip and there's other stuff that I didn't. So the train ride to and from Seattle, I didn't pre-purchase those. And I'm glad I didn't. So it's about $79, $80 I didn't spend. So, and then not having booked a hotel room, to stay over in Seattle either. Because, oh my God, they're fucking expensive. Like, I was able to get this for $100 a night, but everything in Seattle is damn near $300 a night. Youch. So, this is about where we are now. So I'm gonna scroll back up in chat here, see what we missed. Holy crap, I missed a lot. Okay, Pudge's Airport. Wow, we're way back. I will come back when it's done to revise the score. Deal, we'll get hot wings. Yeah, I love hot wings. Consider it done. Lamps Fridays, pretty good. Went to the liquor store to get a bottle of vodka. Ended up doing some whiskey sampling. Nice. Do you remember what type? You should try Whistling Pig whiskey. It's pricey but tasty. I've heard of it. Tried to find Don Q for Tom's Worlds, but they told me it's been missing from their stores for a while. Backed up at the warehouse. Oh, that's unfortunate. Agreed, Lamp. I've had it and it's so good. You were telling me you were on the tarmac when I started my... Yeah, I was... That was before they kicked us off the plane. So I jumped in for like 2 minutes, but I didn't want to turn the volume on or anything. And Just to let you know. But yeah, it was pretty shortly after that they booted us off, and then I was standing in line for 90 minutes. So, all right, now let's play this this funny joke about flights that Waddy gave us. Do we need the video, or is just the audio okay? So let me know, Waddy, if you want me to play the video, or is just letting the audio play through. Videos, okay, yeah, it can. I just have to change the source around here. That's absolutely fine, I think. All right, let's got that up. Let's see if
Did y'all see the Alaska flight? The Alaska Airlines. Okay, if you didn't see it, basically a piece of window popped off of the flight mid-flight. It was still flying. It was still in the air, and some window came off, and then just a bunch of plane came off. Like a door's worth of plane. It might have been the door. A door's worth of plane came off, and I have been so shaken because we've been shitting on Spirit for a minute. We really let Spirit have it all, and they have not had one of these happen. The whole plane get there with you when you fly Spirit. Like the plane that left is the plane that arrives, and you. That didn't seem like a lot to ask before, but now you really gotta wonder, right? And it just is so crazy because I know there were people screaming in videos and people crying and stuff like that, but by and large, everybody was so calm. It makes me wonder if if it's an American thing, if we are so bloody, if we are just so traumatized from life in America that a plane can start to come apart mid-flight and you're like, well, I did pay $68, so I guess that's fair. That makes sense. I didn't pay for the whole plane to get here. You know what I mean? I paid for just me. And right now, I'm still headed there. So I guess they're fulfilling their contractual obligation to get me somewhere. I don't know. I guess I didn't pay to survive. I just gave them the money to get on. So I should specify next time that I want to get there in one piece as well as the plane. Yeah.
Oh, Mare Bear! Swiggity swooty. Hello, my dear. Well, thank you for that, and for the 200 bits, Waddy. That's, yeah, considering how little I'm paying for these flights, I kind of gaslit myself as well, being like, well, you know, it's only $15. I mean, I still got there, and were they using a Logitech controller? Argue for more money. I can't sleep when I travel. Atlanta is a shithole. I'm glad I'm not the only one. And I have a friend who's a flight attendant as well, who's like, yeah, Atlanta and Denver are the two like the shittiest shithole airports. So I'm not surprised you had issues there. Everyone I know that has been and doesn't live there to Atlanta hates it and the state in general. I'm back. Let's talk crap. My transit system was pudge. I ate so many fritters. Wow, I can actually see Eric's face. Weird. As opposed to, like, the dark hole that I normally stream from. I'm here illuminated by the sun here on the West Coast. Where I am at 6:24 p.m. instead of 9:24 p.m. That's still kind of... That was also a problem I was having when I was trying to schedule myself a new flight. It was trying to comprehend whether the advertised times took into account the time change or not. Because I was in the Eastern time zone and Denver's in the Mountain time zone, and I needed to get to the West Coast time zone, and just time zones, man. What do they even mean? Light rail. We also have buses and a city trolley. Max TriMet and Portland streetcar. Okay, so they are different things. Okay, Waddy, job update. Still no word yet from the bank job I interviewed for, which is fine. Well, Archer themed hotel room. What? Oh, because the spy theme. Yeah, I can get along with that. You're going to get asked how your day is multiple times and people will actually care. Mouse update. I saw a mouse 2 days ago, but I've got a pest control treatment coming on Tuesday. This is nicer than the quirky hotel I stayed at in Los Angeles last year. Damn mice, Waddy. Get your feet off the... Oh, I'm sorry. Dang it, I didn't even realize it. Dang it. Okay, well, for it... I guess that's a freebie there. The first one's always free, they say. That's how you hook them. Yeah, that's only for paying customers. Don't touch anything in the minibar. Well, if there is one. So fortunately there's not, but there are, right here next to me, there's this fancy little setup here, but I see what they're doing. This isn't my first rodeo. They've got, well, not that, but they've got this fancy little setup here with these super fancy looking Tuscan mineral waters. It's like, oh, is this? And they say, thank you for staying with us. You're supposed to be like, oh, isn't that wonderful? I'm going to drink these. Because most people aren't going to actually pay attention and be like, wait a minute. $7. Ain't no pain water worth $7. I mean, I am kind of curious, but also like it says copyright 2020 San Pellegrino, or however you pronounce that. So it's probably the same shit in a different label. So I could go back to the CVS and buy one, buy two, probably buy three for $7. That's okay. I'll pound this tall boy a poppy. Lol, the town seems to be icking him out. You're 2 buildings over from where I was yesterday. Wow, fancy. Ooh, an evil goat. I've got so much room for activities in that bath. I know. And I'm like, with how sore I am, I really think I want to take a bath. Because then the more I was thinking about it, it's like I honestly cannot remember the last time I took an actual bath. Like for bathing purposes, because like taking a bath and just sitting in a hot tub are not all that dissimilar, although one is more of a communal activity with more clothes involved sometimes. But yeah, I was like I ain't putting my ass in my own bathtub, because it's, yeah, no. It was grody when we bought the place, and like I ain't putting my ass in that. But yeah, that may be how I spend my evening once we close our stream off here. God, I'm not used to there being sunlight while I'm streaming. It's so weird. And the fact that it's 9:30 back home when it's 6:30 here. I think being awake for that 30 straight hours just meant I didn't really have to suffer any effects of jet lag, because I was just dead to the world anyway. So that white building across the way, catty corner to that, is the best taco place called Maya's. Okay. Well, I've got a good chunk of tomorrow where I'm gonna wander around and do some dilly-dallying, because my checkout, I got a late checkout. The very nice Uncanny Valley is probably a robot kid who checked me in, gave me a late checkout. I explained like I was like my whole fiasco and everything. He's like, and the fact you still have a smile on your face is so wonderful. And I'm like, well, you be awake for 30 hours and you keep rolling with the punches. All you got to do is laugh at that point, because what are you going to do? Oh, that's a great attitude. Yeah. Can I get a late checkout? Oh, yeah. How does 1 o'clock work? Is that fine? Sure. So between 1 o'clock and like probably between 5 and 6, I just kind of got to wander around and absorb a little more of, Portland's je ne sais quoi for my journey out of here. But this is where we get to we've caught up in where we are in the story, but now we gotta look forward to the other issues that have come up since I have arrived. I'm going to catch up on chat first, and then we'll get into that. Well, just have to make a trip out there one of these days. Video is best if possible. Swiggity swooty Mare Bear. He enjoys sarcasm. He's now my favorite male comedian. Oh, Bernard. Considering that the flight that happened to was leaving from Portland, oh man. I feel like there was more honest cost-wise than most of them are, honestly. Hopefully you can find original New York seltzer. I've been in a few stores, but I haven't found anything. I haven't found anything that I haven't seen before yet. So that's unfortunate. The only thing I found that I haven't seen before specifically was the popsicle flavored C4, which I'm sure I probably could get back home. I just haven't paid enough attention to it. So, but I'll keep looking. Separate bath and shower would be the only way I'd take a bath in a hotel, because I like the effects of baths but hate the process of them. Yeah, I just want to like soak in it. The sore muscles and everything. I live here and I'm not used to there being sunlight here. Well, you're welcome. I guess I brought it with me. But apparently when I go home, like after my train to Chicago and everything, like the Wednesday I get home, it's going to be like 100 degrees, which is absolute death for Vermont. Because it's not only going to be like 100 degrees, it's going to be 100 degrees with like maximum humidity. At least that's what they're forecasting. And I am not looking forward to that. So if I'm bringing that back with me preemptively, sorry, I apologize. Also, for folks out there that, trying to figure out what to do about stuff mic-wise, I found these. I found this set on Amazon, not sponsored. It was less than $100. You get two of these. You get two of these lavs, and they charge. Like this has a battery in it. You open it, and they sync to each other automatically. And then they go to this little base here, and they send the audio from the two of them on two different channels, and that comes with adapters. So I have this going to just to a Type-C adapter, and it goes right into my laptop for audio. So you can also send them right into cameras and other stuff. And I'm like, this is super handy. I don't know, just felt like sharing some knowledge. Anyway, where were we? The jet lag going back east is worse than going west from what I remember. Oh, well, I'll keep that in mind. Well, you're losing time when you go back east, right? Yeah, because it's 9 o'clock there. But it may not be an issue for me, if only because my return is over the course of many days. I could see it being a lot more jarring if you go like directly from one coast to the other. And I remember when I was a kid, and my cousin and my uncle and my aunt, when they would come out from Denver for like the holidays or something, like, and their sleep schedules being, you know, because of even the 2-hour time change, like it was a thing. But yeah, you're also near Powell's Books and a decent pasta place right up the street. Yeah, I mean, from the little walk around I had, there's a lot going on here. I didn't see a whole lot on that ride in, but of course, you know, I was in the Uber and I'm just like, this is a new place, so I didn't get to see a whole lot. But I walked a couple miles this afternoon, and it's very like, if I had at least, you know, these couple of blocks are my only real exposure to what this town is, and, you know, the Uber ride from the airport. But like, at least this area I'm in, I get a lot of like Midtown Manhattan vibes, but cleaner and with more polite people. Because like it felt just like I was walking around Midtown, except like you weren't constantly bumping into people or, you know, trying to dodge out of their way because they couldn't be asked to pay attention to their own, you know, where their body is in 3 dimensions. But there seems like a lot of neat stuff. And then I'm also, I don't want to say surprised, but like, I like the fact that like where I've walked around, I've seen very few like big corporate chain things. I see a lot of like independent, at least seemingly independent shops, and I'm like, yeah, it's got that vibe and that spirit to it. And I can also see how, like, I've heard people make comparisons to, you know, comparing and contrasting Burlington to Portland, and I'm like, I can kind of see that. Like, there's a lot of the same spirit there. There's a Target 2 blocks away. They have the seltzer. Oh, wait, I'm 2 blocks from a Target? Really? You know, if they have that seltzer, then I guess I'll have to trek those blocks and check it out. I know a guy in Myrtle Beach. Are you staying there overnight? No. Well, no. It's just a connection flight. But I mean, going back to that comedian's joke, I am this final trek is I'm I'm taking Spirit for it, because there was only one Frontier flight that could have got me home, but it would have meant finding one other place to stay for a night, because there was an overnight layover in Orlando. And I'm like, at this point, like, I'll have just been on a train for 2.5 days, and, you know, coming on the end of a week, and it's like, with everything I've had to spend and everything, and then it just passing on through Chicago, Myrtle Beach, couple hour layover there, and then right back to Hartford. For, depending on when we arrive, I'll either have a little bit of time to be able to go to Adong, or I might have to shoot right back, because I'm expected, I mean, by my own, like, I plan to be back for rehearsal Wednesday. So we'll see, but it depends on when the plane lands. I think how you're doing it, your body will adjust properly. Yeah, I think so too. Especially like the couple of days on the train. Like that's going through. That'll take me from West Coast time zone through the Mountain time zone and into the Central time zone. Just don't ever sleep. It'll be fine. Yeah, sleep is for the weak. Yeah, you lose time, but being on the train will help, and only flying from one time zone to another, there's virtually no jet lag, just the general tired from traveling. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt when I went to Puerto Rico the last time, because they're an hour ahead. And I'm like, that really didn't make much of a difference. Like, just an hour? What is an hour? Pioneer Courthouse squares around. Lots of that's where I was walking around earlier, because I saw like the on Google Maps. I was like, this is like an interesting place to walk around. So like all the squares, and there's the fountain and all the other stuff. I'm like, this is kind of neat. BRB, gotta pee. That's the bottom floor of a weird building. I think that's where I went and got Chinese food. Because like I went into the bottom of a weird building down a surprisingly long escalator, and then there was a Raising Cane's and a bunch of other places down there, and then a Chinese food place. And I was like, I kind of just want to see if my normal Chinese food order, back home is any different here. And it was. And it was a lot better. And Tom was like, bring some home. I'm like, no. Also, if I paid you $3, would you go over 2 buildings and get your step cat? Do it, Eric. Get Pudge's step cat. You're like technically 4 to 6 walls away from Sakamoto. You could maybe hang out with Josh if you need to spend a day in Connecticut. Well, no, Josh is he's in Orlando now. So he's on his Florida adventure. So like, but even if I had that layover in Orlando, I'm not gonna I wouldn't do anything. It would just be like, I need to find a place to sleep so I can get on the plane at 5 a.m. the next day. Like, it was a really stupid layover. Oh, that's right. Yeah, and looks like according to the old social medias, he made it there without issue. So good for Josh. Dang, that light is bright. I don't necessarily want the clouds to come back, but I kind of need them to. Well, let's pull one of these closed and see if this will help. No, that doesn't do much, but it helps a little. Now it looks like I'm in jail. I'm an institutional man now. Can't survive on the outside. Where Phoenix will be Wednesday. Get a voodoo donut. That's what a bunch of people have said. That's something I want to do with my time tomorrow. Is that, and then my friend Fike gave me a recommendation to walk along the waterfront where he said there's cherry trees or something like that. It's in a message. I'd have to pull it up. But I was like, yeah, I saw the river. I thought about walking along it as something to do to kill some time. So I may do that too. So voodoo donut and walk along the river. Apparently something to do with a step cat. Yeah, just kind of enjoy my day here. Fart around the afternoon until it's time to get back to the airport, and this is where the adventure log sort of picks up. Because when I got in here this morning, one of the things that, again, with flying on my flight pass with Frontier, to get the Go Wild rate, which is you pay $1 for the flight plus whatever the government fees and taxes are on the full fare. So, because they have to charge you something for it, so they charge you $1, and then you have to pay the fees and taxes as if you were paying full price. So, like, my flight here from Denver cost me $15.11. So, $1 was for the fare, and then $14.11 was the taxes and fees on the face value. So that's sort of how that works. But to get that price, with very limited exceptions, you have to make that booking within 24 hours of the departure time. So my flight out of Portland to San Francisco, I was unable to book at that price until today. Again, I'm an old hat at this point for it. So when I got in, I looked around my room, took my shoes off, and was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. But I was like, I need to get that done, get that booked, and then I can go to sleep. Well, turns out tomorrow is a blackout day. Not only is it a blackout day, it is a blackout day for the one direct flight that Frontier is making from Portland to San Francisco for Go Wild. They are only selling that flight at face value, and only that flight tomorrow. Today it's at Go Wild price. Sunday it's at Go Wild price. But tomorrow, the day that I need it, can't do it. Face value on that's $249. I'm not paying $249 for any flight on a Frontier plane. It is not happening. So, Seema's here. Seema! Nice to see you. Pudge's ex keeps the cat most of the time, except when it's Pudge's custody time. I see how it goes. So there I am this morning, 30 plus hours into being awake after having all this fiasco and everything, and I'm finally in Portland, and I'm like, how the fuck am I getting out of here? Because my train ride, that was the first bit of this trip that I bought, was buying that train ticket from San Francisco to Chicago, leaving Sunday morning. So everything else that happened and was open to change and fluctuation was built around the fact that whatever happens, I have to be in San Francisco Sunday morning. Oh, we got another ad break coming up in about 20 seconds. Welcome in. Doom top, we tried nothing. So we're gonna let the ad break run in about 10 seconds, and then we'll continue talking about this next chapter in the Frontier fiasco. And ad break. Oh, ad break just ended. All right, well, welcome back, everybody. Now we can continue talking about the Frontier fiasco. What did I miss? Restart your story. So I get in this morning, and after 30-something hours of being awake and traveling, and before I go to sleep, I'm like, I should book that flight to San Francisco, because I need to book within 24 hours of departure time in order to get the best rate, because that's how the pass works. So not a big deal. That's how every other flight I've taken has worked. So I jump on, it's like 8 a.m. I'm exhausted, but I'm like, it'll be super easy. I'll get it done. I open it up, and that flight that I've been checking in on all week, one of those just to make sure it's still there sort of things, is now that it's available to be booked at my rate, is returning as an unavailable route. So it turns out they have blacklisted Saturday due to Father's Day, I guess. But not Father's Day itself, or the day after Father's Day, just tomorrow, Saturday, the 15th. With the only option to take that flight, the full face value, $249. Which, as I was saying, I'm not going to pay that for a Frontier flight, let alone a 90-minute flight. So, I poked around a bit. I checked Google Flights. I tried to find a back doorway into being able to book it at the rate that I wanted, but no, it wasn't going to happen. So I was like, okay, there are other flights out, and the main reason why I'm like, there's no goddamn way I'm going to pay $249 for this flight on Frontier is Alaska Airways, United, everyone else who flies that direct route from Portland to San Francisco, they all fly that route for the same price, $249. So I'm like, if I have to pay full price, I'm not going to pay that for Frontier. I'm going to probably take United or, not Frontier. So I was like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted at this point. I know my thinking isn't entirely clear, so we're going to get some rest. We can't book it right now anyway. We'll try it again after getting some sleep. So I set an alarm because I didn't want to give myself the opportunity to sleep this entire day away, which I probably honestly needed. But I set an alarm for 2 p.m. But I ended up getting to bed at getting into bed around 8:30. But I ended up waking up around 11:30 and was pretty well like, I don't think I'm going to get any more sleep. So, 2 to 3 hours-ish. I got sleep. It was fine. It wasn't a lot, but I got some. So then pulled the laptop back out. Same story. No workaround. Definitely just a blackout date. So, as tragic and unfortunate that is, I spent a while like, okay, well, what if I did go to Seattle? Could I fly from Seattle to San Francisco? Turns out you can. Turns out it's a little bit cheaper, but in the long run, I'd be paying more anyway, because I'd still have to get there, and the savings of it was like $20 cheaper, but the Amtrak to get there is $31. So I would be spending more money for more travel time. And then I was like, okay, well, what if I route through a different city? There were some other routes there, but the other Frontier routes, the other two major ones, were already canceled flights, like flat out canceled. So it's kind of getting to the point where I was like, what the fuck am I going to do here, man? And then I was like, well, okay, well, can I take the train? Can I take the Amtrak from here to San Francisco and then just transfer to the train I'm supposed to take? Technically and on paper, yes. In actuality, a gamble with really, really bad odds. Considering how it's not all that common for an Amtrak to arrive to its destination on time, even if it did, let's say I took that trip, I took that route, I got on the Amtrak here in Portland, rode it south, and it got to Emeryville. Even if everything on that went perfect and was by the books, it would arrive 1 minute after my train to Chicago is supposed to leave. So even under ideal circumstances, it would not have happened. And then that would have been another day of me riding the train too. So back to the drawing board, back to Google Flights, back to trying to find some way also with not having to fly back to Denver to then take another flight out there. Because that's what a lot of these were doing as well. They're like, and a lot of them were overnight flights, which would have meant like I would have to leave here this afternoon to fly back to Denver, stay in Denver overnight, and maybe take a red-eye flight to San Francisco to give myself like an hour to navigate from SFO to Emeryville, which, with everything I'm seeing, you need time to get there. So with most of my options exhausted. I mean, there was always, and with looking through all this, there's always the whole, I can pay Alaska Airways or United or whoever, I can just pay the $250 and take a direct flight. That option is always there. There's multiple flights a day. So I don't want to do it. I don't want to spend that money after everything that's happened, but I've bought those train tickets, so I have to get there one way or another. So with the last thing I can try, for those that may or may not be aware, there's this thing called skip lagging, which is really frowned upon in the airline industry. But what skip lagging is it's booking a flight with potentially multiple connections, but doing so with the intent to not pick up the connection. Because for some reason, with how airlines price certain flights, you can sometimes book a flight that has a bizarre connection in it that is like a bigger or longer flight than something that's direct, but they charge a lot less for it. And it just so happens to have one of those connections in the place that you actually want to go. So I went on the skip lagging site, and again, people have been busted by airlines for this. So this is not something that I recommend people do regularly. And if you do it, be smart about it. So, because there's one guy, like I think in the last couple of weeks, who did it a lot and got himself caught and is now banned by the airlines. Like he can no longer fly. So doing a bit of the roll of the dice here, I searched for flights out of Portland with connections in San Francisco, and I found one. I found a flight that leaves from Portland, has a connection in San Francisco, and then continues on to Reno. And that flight was $130 all in, $130 all in, like with fees and everything. So compared to $249 for that same direct flight that United was offering, United was also flying this flight to San Francisco and then to Reno for $130. So that's what I booked. So I'm booked in to United tomorrow night with a 90-minute connection in San Francisco, and it sure just would be a shame if I didn't happen to make that 90 minutes. That's pretty close for a connection, 90 minutes. Like that'd be pretty easy to miss. Like say I ate something bad here and I just had really bad diarrhea, man, and I got off the flight and I was just glued to the toilet and I just couldn't make it to Reno. I think I might have to take the train home instead, There's nothing I could do about it. I mean, I really wanted to go to Reno, but because this train has a stop in Reno, so I was gonna take this plane to Reno, so I was spending less time on the train, because it's easier to get on it in Reno. So I'm not skip lagging. I'm not doing anything bad. I might not make that connection, It just might not happen. Anyway, so that was the latest thing, and I got that sorted out this afternoon. It was the last two pieces. There was the flight to San Francisco, and then there was the getting sleep in San Francisco. Thanks, balloons. because I hadn't booked a hotel or anything there. So booked this United flight that routes through to Reno. As to whether we route through to Reno or not remains to be seen. So then I found a hotel that happens to be like, if you hawked a real good loogie, you could probably hit the train tracks near the train station from it. So we fly in. I think the flight is like, we get on at 8 and we get there around 10. So we get into San Francisco around 10. So then I'll just grab an Uber or something to go to the hotel. And then the only thing I'm going to have to do before I get on the train is this is something I'm going to do tonight, just poking around in Google Maps. I got to find like either a grocery store, a convenience store, or something relatively near that hotel so that I can get myself some drinks and some provisions for the train. Because I'm going to be on that train for 50 something hours, and I'm gonna want stuff to drink, and and not have to pay the railway robbery fees of train prices. So I gotta find something like that while I'm there, because I mean I have the time now, but I can't fly with it, so I gotta find it there. But all that aside, the rest of the trip is booked already, so everything is set. There's no more of these what ifs hanging overhead. Everything's in place now. Hopefully, there shouldn't be any more surprises. The 2 remaining flights I have are on United and on Spirit, so we'll see. We'll see. I've never ridden on Spirit, but I guess it's basically the yellow version of Frontier from what I've seen. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And let me just check on chat here. Ad break, what I miss. Okay, that's where we were. I'm debating spraying fake skin on a fresh rip, not a bad one, just ow, 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 ow. Does that help it heal faster? Dunno! Well, it probably doesn't hurt to try. It literally hurts to try. Actual pain. The fake skin spray hurts? Oh, it's alcohol-based. Not to sound racist, but fuck blackout dates. Yeah, I know. And also, one of the things, like, they're on the 2 good flights I had, not the bad flight, but on the 2 good flights, they are pushing the Frontier credit card harder than I have ever seen a company try to push their credit card. Like, you are a captive audience. You are there, like, in the last half hour of the flight, they start a routine, like hyping up the card and walking row to row with applications. And like, if you apply right now on the plane, not only will you get the standard 50,000 mile bonus, but you'll get an extra 10,000 mile bonus and then an extra 5,000 miles just for being on this flight here. And it's like, God, you're pushing so fucking hard. And it's like, I don't need a Frontier MasterCard. I don't. But the only thing on that made me be like, well, was having that means you do not have to worry about blackout dates. So I sat and thunk, for all of half a second. I was like, no, I don't need it. Not going to happen. But because then knowing my luck, it'd be like, yes, you no longer have to worry about blackout dates, but these don't apply to Go Wild fares or something like that. So, but yeah. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes Rabbit. Nobody clip this. You're looking extra red. Did you wear sunscreen? No, but I haven't. I've been on planes and other things. I've sat in the sun for a little bit here, although the sun is currently behind a cloud. I'm just a rosy dude sometimes. Carson City, Nevada, is that the capital? Nevada? I don't know. Why Carson City? That's Reno that I was talking about. Thanks. Balloons? What? Yeah, apparently if you do this, it's balloon time. And if you do this, it's heart time. And if you do this, it's party time. And if you do this, it's time to rock. I love that. There were balloons on screen. Did you not see them? Apparently my internet is like, he's too close. It was cutting and wouldn't let me in stream. Boo! Everybody shake your fist angrily. But you're here now. You can get it at the Portland airport. Once you get through security, Portland has a policy where they can't charge more than off-air. Ooh. Good to know. Good to know. But I'm not traveling with a carry-on bag. I am traveling only with a personal item. So technically I have no baggage. I have not bought any storage space in the overhead bin, and I have it's literally a slightly oversized laptop bag, but I've crammed my laptop and lav mics and a week's worth of essential clothes into it, and it's just small enough to fit into the personal item tray. So, but that's part of my whole minimalist vagabonding thing that I'm doing, is making this as cheap and as efficient as possible. Because I can just, it's a shoulder bag. I can throw it over one shoulder. And I just fucking go. I don't have to wait for shit. How long am I streaming? Okay, it's 7 o'clock here, so 8, 9. So it's 10 o'clock there. Well, I'm not going to go for several hours. We're probably not going to go for too much longer. Honestly, I need to check something here. I don't think we can MARB on this machine. I don't think that's an because I'm doing this on my Mac. I don't think MARBs runs on Mac. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to MARBs tonight. Also, wrong. Portland Spirit is amazing. I trained them all. Did I tell you guys that my Tentor annual pass didn't make it the whole year because Tentor literally shut down? Yeah, you mentioned that. That's such bullshit. That's so disappointing. Oh, right. Sun is still up where you are. Yeah, it's weird. It's, for some reason, it is 7 o'clock here, and I still can't fathom and understand it. And taking my phone off flight mode when we landed in a different time zone and seeing the time just change on its own is just like, what? It's also just it still seems so weird to me that opening up the Maps app and seeing you are here up in this area of the United States that has only ever existed on maps, and that I've never been to in real life, but now I'm apparently here. I don't know. It's weird, man. Travel's screws with your head. Capital is indeed Carson City. Are those effects for OBS or what? No, they're actually built into iOS, because I'm using my work issued iPhone as a webcam, but I think it works with the built-in camera as well. It's just something they added in for conference calls for fun. So I wish I could make this work I wish regular OBS had effects like that. I don't know, maybe someone's made a plugin out there. We'll see. You didn't wear sunscreen on a plane when you're being directly exposed to the sun? Bad idea, friend. My last and longest flight was midnight to 4 a.m. or midnight to 3 a.m. and then 5 a.m. to 7. I know. Everyone should wear sunscreen outside, just as a daily prophylactic against the harmful sun. But no, if anything, if there's something that made me a little rosy, it was the drive that I made from Vermont to Connecticut to get on that first flight, because I had the morning sun on my face balls the whole time. Food doesn't count, yo. So 1 pair of underwear. No, 3. I kind of got the Project Mayhem rules. I got 3 pairs of underwear, 3 pairs of socks, 3 shirts, and that's in addition to what I was wearing. So technically, I got 4 pairs of socks, 4 shirts, 4 pairs of underwear. I have the JNCOs I was wearing, and then I'm wearing my lounge around basketball shorts now. And then I have 5 shirts actually, because I also 5 shirts plus my flannel. I have like the sleeveless shirt as well, just in case it got warm, because I didn't know what to expect here. But that's a surprising amount to fit in this little bag. I forget, if I walk away, I don't have to yell because I'm wearing a microphone. But this is the bag. It's not all that big, but inside I slipped the laptop in there, and there's my Cinderella script. I'm going to be putting those lines in while I'm on the train. And then I've got, it all comes down to like the feng shui of how you fold or not fold your laundry, how you're able to fit a lot in a small bag. So like, this is one of my shirts. It's rolled into a cigar, and they can just stack in there like logs. And same thing with Scandalous here, my underpants. They're just rolled into a tight little log there. And then when it comes to socks, the traditional way people fold them up, don't do that. You keep them flat, and then you can kind of just slide them in where they need to go. Or you can fold them over once, and they still don't take up as much as if you like balled them up. But with all that, and I was able to fit the surprising amount of clothes in my laptop. And
it's not about butthole pleasures at all.
No, it's not. It's not. It's about how much you can fit in there. And then like a Wi-Fi hotspot and a bunch of charging accessories and my headphones, and a couple of these have been absolute lifesavers. The USB power banks, I have 2 of these. And then my regular phone, and then my work phone, which I have with me, which I'm using. No, we don't have poopy in your butthole. They may question you. They may question you. I have my work phone just in case something happens, I get stranded, and I'm not going to be able to get back to work on Thursday. That's the why. But also it's a way for me to listen to my music without it counting against my own data plan, because my work phone has unlimited data, so I can just stream lossless audio all I want, which is nice. But yeah, I would recommend giving this a try to anyone who has a slight bit of curiosity about like really off the cuff, minimalist kind of travel, get a bag like this, like approximately the size of a briefcase or a laptop bag, and just try traveling once, just using this. Not a roller bag, nothing like that. Just something you can throw over. And you're not paying for carry-ons. You're not doing this other stuff. When you're off the plane, you're off the plane. You don't have to stand around for anything. And then you don't have to pay any extra fees for baggage or any of this other stuff. It ends up being a surprisingly affordable way to travel. And then you can spend money on other stuff, like staying in neat spy-themed hotels for less than what you paid to fly from one end of the country to the other. But it's not without its challenges, clearly, as I've demonstrated this whole damn trip so far. But if you're willing to be creative, roll with the punches, pivot as necessary, and just adjust and adapt, then traveling to places you've never been, even by yourself, not necessarily knowing anyone in some of these places, can be a lot of fun and a pretty good adventure and personal growth and everything. Perfect night to start a fire outside. Fire! It's Morbin time. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to be this time. Isn't time travel fun? It can be. It's light till almost 10, friendo. Yeah, you're probably right. So many people traveling around now. Exclamation point, ninja. Speaking of traveling around, yeah, Rickshaw Tom's got Worlds 2 Electric Boogaloo coming on up. So if you want a personal thank you video full of push-ups and other tough, brute, manly stuff, then check out Rickshaw Tom's GoFundMe. I'm going to bring several pairs of underwear on my trip, seeing as things will get sweaty. Good idea. Do you know if the hotel has a laundry facility? I think that's one of those things that more hotels should have, or at least, ones that are accessible to people that are staying there. Get a bag like that and fill it. And then what? Manly stuff. Blech. All right, I'm just gonna check for Marbs on this machine because I don't think I've ever checked for it on here. It has Vampire Survivors though, but that's not Marbs. Where the heck are you? Ah, Steam. Steam from the steamed clams we're having tonight. Steamed clams. Gotta get me some water. BRB. Be boring, please. Okay, we will be boring while I wait for Steam to open so I can check for the existence of macOS Marbs. Let's see here. Mac only. That is just what I thought. Unfortunately, there is not Marbs on Mac. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to play some Marbs tonight. Or Tuesday. So we're having a marvelous week here. Because our next stream, I'll be in Chicago on Tuesday. So we'll be able to talk about the train trip and everything like that, and what the experience is like doing that stretch sitting in coach. Because I've got the opportunity to upgrade to one of their private rooms, but I kind of want to do this the cheap and dirty way, If and when I do the longer coast to coast trip, I may save up and do the private experience for that, but I kind of just want the lowdown, dank and dirty sitting in coach with all the plebs experience here. 2 days in a train car, in a train seat. We'll see how that goes. Try to get my lines learned, see if I can get some writing done. Who knows what we'll come out of it with. Pudge did 18 hours in coach. It wasn't horrible. Okay, good to know. Okay, Waddy's back. What did we talk about? Well, we verified that there is no MARBs running in. There is no MARBs available for Mac in Steam. I checked. So that is unfortunately means we can't play MARBs tonight. So, oh well. That's kind of what I thought, but we verified it. You don't look yourself. Well, it's I am that's probably because where I am there is daylight. There is daylight on my face. Because normally when I stream, I do not have that. I'm in my dark little cave. But it is 7:20 p.m. here, and the sun is still out. This is my view at my hotel here in Portland at The Dossier, among Portland's best kept secrets. Come on. So to make this work, I'm balancing my phone, which I'm using as my webcam, on a box of tissues propped up by a one of these Gatorade Pedialyte knockoff things. I'll fire up some Jedi and be your understudy. Yeah, if you want to fire that up, we can raid on over to you once we finish up here. We'll probably go for another 10 minutes or so, because I do have some business stuff I need to take care of, and that's just more figuring out what I'm going to do tomorrow between the time I check out and go to the airport for my next flight. On you! I want to do Empire Builder to Coast Starlight to Southwest Chief. That sounds like an amazing run. I want to do that. I mean, we've talked about this over the years. That whole Empire Builder run from New York to, is it Seattle where it ends at the other end? Wherever it ends the other end. Going through Montana and North Dakota and everything, but do it in winter where there's actually, I think that'd be really pretty. So that'd be really nice. And then you got the trifecta. You'd have to do the Southwest run at some point, but to do them all back to back like that, I don't know if that's something I would have the capacity for, more in terms of like the time it would take, only because of how damn busy my life is. But who knows? It could happen. Oh, nah, I see you now. Oh, okay. Then probably Cardinal back to DC. It's just the angle. Oh, all right. Ah, shit, no MARBs. Yeah, I'm sorry. Wait, you, Mac? No. Yeah, we're streaming on my MacBook here. This is what I travel with. But we're trying out a new lav mic system here, which is that boy right there. 'Cause why not? But no, I am operating system and hardware agnostic. I have certain things I like for certain tasks. When it comes to streaming and everything, I do prefer my PC and all that. But truth be told, with the Apple Silicon in this, it chews through video encoding and running OBS like nothing, and it's ice cold. It doesn't even get warm. Whereas my laptop, that thing boils and screams running OBS. So, and then I like Mac for my creative stuff, for my video making and my audio production. So, because I prefer Final Cut and Logic Pro, but for like getting other work done, I prefer PC for it. So, yeah, you just find stuff that works for you. And then this is, I'm using my work issued iPhone as my webcam. But when it comes to phones, I prefer my Androids. But again, I'm technically agnostic. I don't put one over the other. If it works for you, great. Chicago to Seattle or Portland. Okay. There's a Lakes train from New York City to Chicago. I can never remember what that one was called, but yeah, that first stretch, that only takes like a day and change. Yeah, Empire Builder, Chicago to Seattle. That's the line I ride on when I travel to see friends in my hometown. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's... Assuming this one on the California Zephyr goes well, I think the Empire Builder would be the next one I take. It's only 100 hours. Okay. Anime redeemed on-screen what is that? On-screen celebration? I don't know what that is. I missed it? Oh, man. New stuff. Apple is devil spawn. Pudge is going to take a shower and go to bed. I adore you all. Eric, if you need bailed out or food advice or anything while you're here, let me know. Okay, I will. Thanks for the advice you've given me so far, and for not getting on one of these rooftops and sniping me through the window. But we'll send you some hearts, Pudge. Coast Starlight is well known as one of the best train rides in the world. Oh, cool. That's actually like when I was, when I had planned doing my trip to Seattle as part of this, I had the option to do that stretch on the Coast Starlight for an extra $10. Good night, Pudge. It's a new thing that Twitch added to your points. Huh. Oh, yeah, I think I got an email about that, but I didn't read it. I guess I get legit pro streamer over here. I'm on the rooftops. My book is just more interesting than murder. Okay, well, I'll take that as a win for this guy, at least at this point. If you two take the Empire Builder, feel free to stop in town where I live and come say hi. It has a stop here, and I live very close. Yes! Hell yeah. That sounds awesome, HB. I will not say if, but I will say when I take the Empire Builder. Definitely plan that in. 100 bits seems expensive for what it was. Well, was it just like a screen effect or something? I don't want anyone to do it again just to see it. I'll look it up. I'll look it up and see what it actually does. But man, my throat is dry the crap out. Oh yeah, so I was gonna open my other soda. Well, for those of you that were not here at the beginning, I'll do a shortened version of our room tour here, just so you can see it at the Dossier Hotel in Portland. So this is where we're streaming from. There's a nice little table here. And this real 60s looking chair. Got where the magic happens here with this hideous leather headboard thing. I guess so, people don't have brain damage. And all the art here on the walls is actually commissioned by local artists, which I think is really neat. It's not just like corporate art. It's all like actual stuff. And then the weird clock that was playing music when I came in here and is still playing music. I don't know, that was weird. And then probably the coolest thing is just the massive, like this palace of a bathroom here with separate like rainfall shower and soaking tub. So I think you boys probably gonna take a bath later. And the goat that will stare at me while I do it. Will that make me the man that stares at goats? I guess we'll see. That was a pretty bad joke. But then the last thing here, got our little lockable fridge. But those are all drinks that I put in it, so don't worry, I'm not stupid enough to try and rate a mini bar or anything. And then over here we've got this coffee station thing, which I don't know. I'm not a coffee person, but but it's there. And then they even have an AI, well, they don't say it's AI, but a 24/7 virtual concierge named Paige. So it's an AI. And we're back in our seat. It was indeed a screen effect. Purple hearts went from bottom to top. Okay. Yeah, I'll read up on that so we can see what they actually are. I mean, I think it's kind of neat. Oh, I gotta sip something. I got a tickle in there. But let's get a little crisp. But cheers and cilantro, everyone. Have I had this one? I don't know if the orange was in the variety pack I had. All right, well, it's not bad. It's very orange oily. What size is that can? They're pounders, man. CVS of all places. I was like, those are big cans. I was like, those are big cans. That was a bad joke. Oh, you dick. Everyone, Chris the Lamp just redeemed Finish Your Drink. Looks 16 ounces. Yeah, it's a pounder. Knowing full well that I will not do that if it is 20 ounces. But these are... Oh, my God, Lamp. I'm on the other side of the country and you do this to me. And it's right out of the fridge, too. It's freaking freezing. All right, well, I don't have the management thing open. Can somebody cash in Lamp's points to make this official? And then tell me that it's official, and then we'll full send it. I have hiccups now. Probably Lamp's fault. Set up and boom. If you're too exhausted still, you don't. No, you redeemed it. You redeemed it. You're gonna get it. All right, Waddy has made it official. All right, Lamp redeemed. Finish your drink. So here we go. Cheers, Sláinte. This one's for you, Lamp. It's gonna be so cold. It's so cold. Try to move this so you don't hear drinking. I don't know if you could hear drinking noises or not, but it's so cold. I'm gonna put this back. He's gonna be talking like Mo Sislak. Unky Mo, my soji is too cold. It makes my teeth hurt. We got like that much to go. Sound empty. Oh. I didn't realize until I was getting dressed this afternoon that every shirt that I packed for this trip is a Postal Service Death Cab shirt. With the exception of the Pocket Man shirt that I wore yesterday. All the other shirts that I brought are Postal Service Death Cab shirts. I grabbed them out of my hamper and rolled them up. And they were all these. Okay. So, burp. It's too cold for the gas to come out. It'll be there, Seema. Whew. I'm going to finish my drink with you. All right, Lamp, well, I hope you did. I only have water, but I will also drink it. Thank the Dark Lord, I can't hear any of this swallow. Okay, Waddy, finished your water. Oh, the burp's building, though. Lamp!
Black_Phoenix got drafted by Crystal Lamp. Crystal Lamp gifted a tier 1 sub to the Black_Phoenix.
Well, not only am I appreciative for that gifted sub, but it also went to a fantastic member of our community. So that's a win-win there. Well, thank you very much, Lamp. I appreciate that a whole heck of a lot. Oh, my teeth are still like, they're so cold. All right, well. At this point, is Tom currently on? We just crossed the 2-hour mark. As I said that, my phone was like, boop, boop, Rickshaw Tom is now live. So, all right. So I intended to do about a 1 to 2 hour stream here. I had also intended this stream to be in Seattle, but, shit happens, but you gotta adapt. But being able to do this here in front of this big window here in Portland, where apparently Pudge knows exactly where I am, has been neat. It's been neat, and I wouldn't have really had this opportunity to explore Portland if I did the Seattle trip as intended. I would have come in at midnight. Stayed here for one night, not even a night, because I would have been on the train at 6:15 a.m. So I would have been here, like, sleeping in this room for like 4 or 5 hours, and that would have been it. Then I would have been on the train to Seattle and staying in some other hotel in Seattle that was 3 times as expensive. And then coming back to Portland with like a couple of hours to just get from the train station to the airport and not, so I would have passed through Portland twice and not done a thing. But I would have seen Seattle. So scratch out Seattle, we do Portland. So that just means come back with the intention of specifically doing Seattle and re-reviewing the airport if all the work is done. But also a big part of this whole, like, why are you doing so many places in such a small amount of time is a lot of these, at least for me, how it works for me is until I actually go to a place, it kind of just doesn't exist. You can see it in movies, you can, look at it on a map, but until you've gone through the process of going there, then the idea of going there remains potentially just a foreign idea. I don't know if that made any sense, but like with going to these places, now that I've been to these places, the idea of coming back seems very simple. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. He just came on. Whereas now maybe you can get a Voodoo Donut. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because I don't even think I would have had the time for that that early in, well, I don't know if they would have been open that early in the morning before. So that may have been the one thing I could have done had I done the Seattle trip, between going from the train station back to the airport. But now it's something I can do tomorrow, and I can spend a few more hours leisurely, at my leisure. I don't have to check out of here till 1 p.m. because the very nice but strangely nice front desk people gave me a late checkout. So yeah. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, and wandering around Portland. And I'll be able to fill you in on all the other details on Tuesday once your boy is in Chicago and we are able to stream again. So unfortunately, that means no Marbs tonight, no Marbs Tuesday. But perhaps come Friday, we will make up for it and maybe do a double Grand Prix or something. I don't know. It's been a while since we've done a little extra Marbin, so maybe that'll be our opportunity to do so. Because we are also, now that we finished Hellblade, we are now in between games, so to speak. So we may do a Marbtacular Friday, because I had also intended on this sort of being the fourth Twitchiversary stream, but with everything that happened, I kind of forgot until just now. So I don't know, maybe we'll try that. Maybe we'll just do a bunch of Marbin or something. 3 Grand Prix. Be safe and enjoy the rest of your trip. I will, Seema. Thank you so much. Or a fritter. I think, as I looked it up, I think it's the maple bacon something is their most famous Voodoo Donut thing. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, I'll find something. It'll be good. No stream for Lamp the next 2 weeks. Okay. We will keep that in mind. So we will all just have to. Well, no. Phoenix is on vacation. Yeah, this is kind of the lull, isn't it? Well, someone will step up. Someone will step up. Tomorrow is hang time without Saza. Okay. Tomorrow night, depending on timing, I may be able to, and time change, of course, time change. So 10 o'clock for you is 9/8/7. So my flight is at 8. And it's a 90-minute flight. Well, if I have the opportunity to pop in, I will. Gotta love having concerts on stream nights. Yeah, I hear you. Same when I have performances on stream nights. Do what you gotta do. Everyone is tripping. No, it's great. I love that everyone, well, not everyone, but so many of us are able to get out there and do these things, especially after the last 4 or 5 years. Getting out there and being able to explore and just do stuff is super nice. And again, who knows? Maybe one of these days we'll finally get around to finding a time and a place and a spot where all of us who can converge and have our own little version of TwitchCon with, just us folks. But it's nice to dream. It's nice to dream. All right, we're gonna raid on out to Rickshaw Tom here. So let's. If I can remember that off the top of my head. There we go. All right. So. Oh yeah. Have a fantastic night, everyone. It seems weird to say that because it's 7:43 here, but it's 8, 9, 10:43 back home. Keep posted to Instagram and Facebook. If you follow me in those places, I'll continue posting updates along the way. But until then, let's bring all our loves over to Rickshaw Tom. We'll send some more big hearts to everyone here who's just supporting and encouraging me as I get out there and do these fun, crazy, ridiculous adventures. And then just the one last thing to leave you with is, of course, so long and good night. So long and good night. Before we raid on off to Rickshot Tom. And because we kind of have to say it at this point, it's not about the butthole pleasures. All right, let's raid.